Hi everyone, we are at FabTech 2023, having a great show here. We are here today with Salvagnini, and we have two special guests. We have Peter Kitzler, and we have Giovanni Piccolo. And you know Giovanni, I've interviewed him a few times now. And but I was here at their booth yesterday, and we got into some terrific discussions that really came from just their own experiences out in the market. And so I'd like to hear more of those, and I hope you would too. I'm going to hand the microphone over and flip that to yourself. Thank you. Say goodbye. All right. All right. We can talk about that auto.
Yes. To follow a little bit up what we have actually discussed yesterday, or what we talked about yesterday, what I like so much on Salvagnini is the capability of developing new technical solutions for our sheet metal industries around the planet in a very methodical, very structurized, and very professional way. And that my highlight in this year, 2023, is a development we are doing for the automotive industry. It is actually structural parts for car chassis. And those parts are first time made on a Salvagnini panel bender, which is for the automotive industry a completely new development, because they are typically a stamping industry. They are using hard tooling, stamping, and for some reason, one of those manufacturers came to the idea that we could try that on a panel bender. And there is other market competitors of us who are there since many years trying that and always failed. And we did just a simple demo on one of those panel benders in our factory in Austria, and we made it. The most interesting development on this is simply these parts are made of a very new high tensile steel. It is actually called dual phase steel, and it has tensile strengths up to 1135 Newton per square millimeter. This is 2.8 times harder than stainless. Yeah. So it is something, even for a Salvagnini panel bender, after all these years of experience, and John and myself, we went through some firestorms and made it still alive, is for a Salvagnini bender a challenge. But this was done in a very professional way. We got the material from that German customer. We tested it in a laboratory, got all the data. Then very professional created a new bending formula model for it, because such a material needs also a little bit of a different bending movement and
spring
back and everything. Implemented that in a test machine, which, believe it or not, was at that time built for an American customer. In the meantime, it's delivered, installed, up and running, final commissioned, but it had the correct bending geometry. And we were actually asking that American customer for permission if we could use his machine for that bending test. They very well allowed us to do that.
Nice.
Their priority one was runoff. They had to complete the runoff. The runoff was completed, and then you can use the machine as you want, which we did. Took us 1 day. And now the material is qualified, and the most impressive feedback we got from that customer was those 17 parts we produced that day. Actually, they took back home and put them into a measurement system in order to kind of get repeatability and get the kind of a small CPK process capability run. And the feedback was 2 days later that never in their history of making parts for the automotive industry have they ever seen such a repeatability. They were completely blown away. Now the project is very active. The first order of the first machine doing those parts is in-house. And the plan is to install until 2026 another 4 panel benders in Germany. So it is, you can imagine, an enormous development. And it was a good day, a well-spent day.
Yeah.
But and Gianni here on my side is one of those assets where he gets a sniff on somewhere on an application, and then he has a talent, or maybe we together have the talent to present that to our powers to be, to our management, to our technical directors. And this is one of those big strengths of Salvagnini, that it is picked up what we are bringing in, and then we are making something out of it. And it, in some of those, it probably revolutionized some industries, really. I mean, Gianni, you can talk about door frames. Door frames, that is a story we developed what our kids were small, really.
It is like what Peter just told you. It's probably very typical. And I mean, I know Peter since a lifetime.
Since ever.
We're young, slimmer, me. But what was the drive? I mean, if I look at our journey, where are the machine now? Where the machine were at that time is kind of, impressive. We tackle every challenge we got on the market. Because at the beginning, those machines were good, but the application range was limited. So we were escorting the market to see where can be the application. We started, for instance, with a band eye. We started with the thickness range. We started with the automation on the tooling, right? That started very well back. And what is, remarkable is that when we are out with a model, be sure there is already something cooking in our department, R&D. Our goal is to say the principle of panel bending is a winning principle in terms of manufacturing cold forming bending in the industry and metal. And of course, we say that there are applications that we need to improve by automating the function, etc. Therefore, our target, me and Peter, are to go out, check out what are the requests, what are the ROI factor, why will you do that, what is the return. You cannot go there with an automation per se. You must have some return, right? You do this because, for instance, the machine will never ever miss a minute of your operative time for tool setup. So every minute, every part in every second. That is, for instance, something that we always in mind. Can we give this to our customer? And therefore, this is where I think is the drive of our experience. Now, after so many years, I think I like to think that me and Peter, we can share our knowledge with the younger generation. And this, I feel like, is my legacy. When I speak with the young people, and especially if Peter is around, say, you see, we've done that, encourage them to be curious, to be upfront. Don't say no 100%, say no, but perhaps, for instance, right? Let you think about. I think you must be, as you say, methodic in your approach, but curious. And, forefront. You have to think a little bit out of the box sometimes.
It seems like the underlying theme here is it's almost like when you're young, you first get married, you buy a house, and things go wrong. So, I don't have a saw for that. I have to go buy a saw. But it's almost like your customers are stretching you. Like, well, we never thought to use it in that application, but okay, let's try to. I mean, does that help you grow?
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember back that many years. It must be more than 20 years now. When Gianni came up with the idea to automate door frames.
Right.
That was something at that time completely new for us, because a door frame is typically very narrow. So Gianni had the idea, why don't we create a system, let's call it frame bender. And when he talks about things like that, my hair is already raising and the brain is already running. And the curiosity is building up. And then he said, why don't we do when you look on a door frame today, a completely normal door frame at home at your house, you know, the entrance door, whatever, it typically has a complicated side and it has an easy side. Complicated is where the door sealing is, the door lock, for example, and the other side is the easy side. And then Johnny had the idea, let's do the complicated side on a panel bender with a very narrow tooling. We have to, of course, to ask the technical office if they ever would do that. And then do the other side on a press brake with a robotization so that you have a fully automatic system. What I learned at that time from Johnny is you, with such ideas and such projects, and this is maybe also an interesting message for the young people among us. You go out on unknown land, uncharted land. You do the step out there. It could go wrong when you fall down. Then you know, okay, that was the wrong direction. And then you go in the other direction and you find new land and new applications and you find solutions and you make something new. The biggest mistake is if you don't do it.
Yeah.
This is
with this generation to let them know it's okay to make a mistake.
absolutely, absolutely. I teach.
Think is hard, but you must tell them. You must say, guys, don't be afraid because mistakes happen by chance.
Yeah.
If you keep on mistaking, it's good, of course, right? But don't be afraid because some scars teach a lot, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that this is also a drive because normally when you solve something that you didn't foresee at the beginning,
Yeah.
that experience teach you a lot.
Yes.
For instance, just to tell you an example, when we were bending these frames, we understood that there is the zinc coating, right, that can be make a cold welding on the blades, right, attach the blade. So what we did, all right, we can't keep the tolerance because the frame needs to have a tolerance. So what we do, we did then some tests. 2-3 errors, we solved it. And now every machine has a device which put a thin layer of lubricant.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't stick to the blade, and the blade is always shiny, so you never have lubrication. But we had to go through that and realize that Houston, we have a problem.
Right, right.
And we start. We were wide.
You go from problem to problem to problem, and then finally you have the solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I also find very refreshing still, and I'm now in Salvagnini since 35 years. October 1st I start year number 36.
Wow. Great.
We are working in Salvagnini in a company where the management is actually allowing us to go that paths, to make such developments. Of course, we also have to follow the rules and the structure of a big company. But when we are presenting ideas or applications which are brought to us by customers or which we find out somewhere on the market, then we present it in a proper way, and then the company has that drive. The company wants to do that. It is sometimes almost that they start pushing us and not we them. So I think this is one of the very strong points of Salvagnini.
Great.
When you compare it to other companies on the market in the sheet metal manufacturing industry, where they have much stricter rules and structures, and that actually limit themselves on this development. And Salvagnini is strong here, I have to say.
It's difficult for a company to keep getting bigger and bigger because the tendency is the bigger you get, the more conservative and cautious.
You're right.
So this is really an exception.
Yes, I think if you do it in the right way, I think if you set that this is a mission, it's not like we want to go out, and be disruptive. In that sense, we want to be proactive.
Yeah.
Think a little bit more out of the box. And when I started, it was 85. We had 2 models of pen and pen. Now how many do we have?
Yeah, 13 or so, a lot, enough. Choose your size is our motto. Yeah.
We do have, a lot, in generally speaking, we think all these machines, etc., the application that we have done is incredible. I mean, and again, I think that what we try to do is keep on doing. Our target now is to give legacy to the younger generation. And I think there is a lot of energy out there. I have to say that I am positively impressed by the young generation. Many people may say the different. I am positively impressed. We just hire a young application engineer, and if you are there, if you approach them, you show the passion, you show the dedication and the result, enjoy the result of a good job, they are on board.
That's what it takes. It's in here. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every generation has its strengths. I'm admiring today the young generation about their capability of digitize. They live with the smartphone. They are very, very good in software and in apps.
Yeah.
They are absolutely not shy in 3D model programming. They just do it. They even expect it. In our times, we did sometimes feasibility studies on a notepad. It was a handwritten study. You hand it over to a customer. That this is the study. We did not have a computer to even print something. So the times are changing, you know, that the society, the industries are changing, and that the young generation is adopting to it very quick. That is, in my opinion, also very impressive, I have to say.
Also, I think that the good thing for us now, I would say that sometimes our job is getting easier for some reason. Because accepting automation and accepting this kind of level, you enter into argument like software, like electronic, like control of process, etc. And now I think that the people listening, the young generation we talk to, is natural for them. In the past, I tell you, it was a little bit harder. Why do I need software?
Right.
Why tell me? Why do you put this amount? Why shall I pay this amount of software for my machine? That was the hardest time. Today, instead, they ask you, do you have the software?
Yeah.
And you explain me about the software.
Not only do they have the software, but they link into an umbrella environment.
Yeah.
And they have a control software and
Yeah, you see, we have an entire display for software, from CAD/CAM to
Programming,
cloud,
to whatever,
connection,
design.
remote support.
and now we are combining this knowledge, like application, machine, software, and it's so exciting. I think that really, I hope that many young people will embrace this career. I'm super glad of what I've done in the past. I think I suggest to have a job like, that you wake up every morning, have colleagues like Peter, first of all. I mean, he's here in my heart. And have the technology to explain, because that keeps you active, alive. And
It's also great to see when you see them coming home. I mean, I remember one of the big projects you did last year, one of the highlights of last year, was an American-based door and frame manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
A super big company, not too far from our headquarters in Hamilton, Ohio. And Gianni was the leading force on the automation and on the solution for this system. But our young testing engineers who spent a long time there, because also there was a lot of technological development to be done until it was finally running as it should run, and as we have actually anticipated. But when they came home and they had the final commissioning document from the customer, they were very proud. They said, wow. From no day in the beginning, I would have believed that this is going to work. Now, signature is there, the customer is happy. We truly have the opportunity that they grow with this Salvagnini system, and we're going to buy another one. So here is our future. And this is also a big, how should I say, very positive experience when they come home with such a result. And that's nice to watch once in a while, and it's great.
One of the things that was so captivating about our conversation yesterday was that here are two guys with all this experience, right? You both combined, you have probably 7 years of experience. Yes?
Yeah, a little bit more, but okay.
Okay, more than that. And yet, the passion is right on the surface. I mean, you don't have to dig far to find the passion in both of you.
No, it is. I keep saying every day in the morning, it is absolutely not boring. It is every day something new.
It is.
When I started 35 years ago with Salvagnini, I was a very young testing engineer. I was immediately impressed by the Italian technology. You know, Mr. Salvagnini, the founder of the company, had automation in his DNA. And it was a very, very much under control. You know, we Austrian blokes, we were actually at the beginning at that time of such developments. And it was, since those days, never boring. And even today, Salvagnini, as Gianni already mentioned, it's developing and developing, and then you put it on the show in Chicago, and in the backyard there is already the next thing coming and growing, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic, yeah.
Anything to add as we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully many people gonna see this interview with you, Dave. One message I would like to send out on the planet is to our worldwide sheet metal manufacturers. Just saying, don't be shy. Look on the panel bender, look on the automation with it, look what you can combine with it, laser, punching, shearing, automatic storage retrieval system. You can build it up like a Lego stone. You can start with a small segment and can build up for the future or not. There is everything there. Just don't be shy from new technology. And the message on this exhibition here, FabTech 2023 from Salvagnini is it is not the question if you get one of those panel benders, it's only the question when, because you're gonna need it anyway. There is no way around, you know, with all the labor issues. So my wish to everybody is don't be shy, just look on it, go for it. At the end of the day, you will have it and you will be very happy.
I'm saying that, first of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to,
Love it.
you know, first time, me and Peter, we know each other since many times. We share passion, etc., but we really think that the technology that we are showing here is one of the greatest business opportunity for the manufacturer of sheet metal. Forming parts and automatically, precisely, cost effectively, etc., is what actually I think is the key for successful manufacturing in the Western country. It's proven, etc. Therefore, sometimes people say, but this is not a job for a panel bender because there is some culture out there. Well, my message is that perhaps it is going to be, and very soon. But if you don't ask the question, we want you to ask us questions. Please tell us, is this band too big, too high, too thick? Let us know. We are here to help, to develop for the business and the success of our customers.
Great. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you very much, Dave. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care.